All right, so welcome to anyone who is watching this video. This is my first YouTube live, and I just want to see how this is going to go. One of the things that I was never taught to look for, first of all, let's talk about the typical things that we are told to look at. And to me, it reminds me of childhood type stuff. Does he look this way? Is he this tall? What type of car does he drive? How much money does he make? Those are vanity metrics. I talk a lot about that in my digital course, shameless plug, break the pattern of choosing wrong men. If you're interested in that, I'm going to post a link for that in the description box beneath this video. But we're told to look for all the superficial things. And the superficial things do not tell you whether somebody is a healthy individual, whether they are a healthy partner, whether they want the same things that you want, whether it's going to be a good situation in the relationship if you get with them. So there's that. But the number one thing that I will share in today's video that is important to look for, that I was never taught to look for to determine if someone shows signs of being a healthy partner, it's not how he looks, things that he tells you, even the 3-word sentence that some of us get so caught up on, him saying, I love you. It's none of that. It is, can you guess? Drum roll. Emotional safety. Emotional safety. Number one, let's talk about what emotional safety actually entails. It means that he is available to hear what's going on with you. He cares about how you feel. And he's not going to turn whatever it is that you share around on you. That is very important. If you're dealing with a man who gets angry because you are expressing how you feel, doesn't matter what it is. If you're dealing with a man who shuts down and walks away, he's not even open for the conversation. If you're dealing with a man who is very vindictive and will take things that you share in a moment of vulnerability and then spews them back on you later, that is not emotional safety. That is actually the complete opposite. That is a sense of distrust and violation of vulnerability. When someone takes something that you shared in confidence and uses it against you, or someone shuts you down. So they're not helping you to express, they're actually encouraging you to suppress and repress your emotions. That is never healthy. It also is indicative of a man who is not in touch with his own emotions, which can be difficult to deal with. It's not saying that you should throw somebody away because they're not super emotionally open or rehearsed or practiced, but it does kind of give you insight to, well, how difficult is it going to be to crack through the barrier of emotional understanding? And sometimes, or I would say all the time, actually, emotional safety means that someone has a decent or standard amount of emotional intelligence. Have you ever been with somebody who is not emotionally intelligent? They don't read the room. They don't get the picture. If you're walking in, and you've had a rough day and they're on about their business, they either don't greet you, they don't see the look on your face, they don't come to offer you with help or whatever, that can seem a little out of touch. And that's just one example. But you want someone who is emotionally intelligent, and that can be figured out by way of their emotional safety. Can they hold space for you when you are sharing something, when you are being vulnerable, when you're inviting them into having a vulnerable moment? Or do they do something else that feels volatile? So that is a major thing to look for. And it's not to say that men don't, or rather that we shouldn't look for men who have certain things. That's very important too. Because I don't care how emotionally safe someone might be, if they're broke and you are trying to stay above water financially, that's going to be a volatile situation as well. So let me just say that. Let me just say that. And I think, let me also say this. I have heard the conversation, so I'm not going to say all men, but I'm going to say I've heard it from some men. Some men think that their assets and their material world is all they need to bring to a relationship. And that's simply not true. If they offer nothing else, they offer a check or money, but they also with that offer volatility. That's not good. I don't care how much money you make. If I am unsafe in this relationship, I don't need to be here. Okay. So there's that myth I want to debunk. A man's pocketbook does not mean emotional or even physical safety. However, what I also want to say is you can have some men who are emotionally safe and they're present, they're available, and maybe sometimes a little too available because they ain't got nothing else to do. They're not working. They're not bringing in an income. They can't support and provide like you might want a man to do. So if he cannot do that, that can also weigh heavily on your relationship dynamic. So both are equally important. You got to have assets and you got to have emotional intelligence. Those two work hand in hand. And that's if you want a balanced, long lasting partnership. And that's just two elements to start with. There's a whole bunch more that I go through in my program, Rewire for Love. Again, another shameless plug. If you're wanting to do deeper work around what to look for, what to avoid, what inner shadow work you got to do, because let me also be clear, relationships that are great, they don't just happen. The power starts within when we begin to cultivate the things we desire within ourselves. I am a living witness of that, and I've seen it in the women that I coach and counsel. So if this is your first time finding me here on YouTube, welcome to my space. This is Portia Angel Coaching. Dive through my content, watch my new series, Case File Number One, where I tell you my own personal story of the most traumatic relationship that I ever went through, so you can understand why I know what I know and why I do this passionate work of relationship transformation coaching. So yes, I'm happy to be here on YouTube in this live space. This is my first live video. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet because I'm learning how this whole process works. And let me know if any of what I've said in this video rings true for you. Put it in the comments. Follow and subscribe for more content. I've got more videos coming out, probably about 2 every week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace and love. God bless.